Hi guys, I'm Coach Rebecca Smith with Complete Performance Coaching, here for our weekly Q&A where I answer questions from members of the Perform Happy community and give tips and tricks to perform at your best in sport and in life. So a little background on us. Complete Performance Coaching is a awesome team of amazing coaches who I am slowly turning into the absolute dream team of youth sports, aesthetic sports, individual sports. So basically, if you have a sport that's kind of scary or intense, or you tend to get in your head a lot, we are your people. I've just brought on a former 49ers cheerleader to work with all the dancers and cheerleaders. We have a collegiate baseball player. We have a collegiate gymnast. We have combined decades of experience helping young athletes perform at their best and actually enjoy it. So that's what we do. We also have a complete online mental toughness training facility at performhappy.com. Check it out for more info. And now to our question of the week. It comes from a gymnastics mom. And she was wondering how to tap into a young athlete's motivation source. So she writes, they have enough to put up with the daily 3 to 4 hour grind and conditioning, but only give 60% effort when they have lots of talent. Even 90% effort, amazing results would occur. Okay, so I've heard this from a ton of swim parents, plenty of gymnastics parents, and it's boys, it's girls, it's all ages. A lot of us struggle with motivation. You know, you start your sport at such a young age, and maybe it's the sport your parent did, or maybe it's just something that your friends did, and you start it because it's fun and you like it, and then next thing you know, you've got a little skill, and then the coaches are kind of pushing you, and now you're on the competitive team. They see a ton of potential in you, but you're not working. You're not working at your best. And then, you know, sometimes the other kids on the team are like, why does that kid do well in competition? They don't work hard. Gosh, imagine if they did. So maybe that's you, maybe that's your kid, maybe that's someone that you coach. I'm going to give you guys a quick little framework for how to help ramp up that motivation. And that's going to be our acronym, actually, RAMP. So I'll explain that in just a minute. So first, quick overview on motivation. There are two primary forms of motivation, internal and external. So external, that's your medals, places, points. I want to win. I want to beat my friend. I want to get that teddy bear. I want the pizza party, whatever it is. It's something outside of yourself. I want my parents to be proud of me. I want my coaches to be happy. All of that is outside of yourself. Whereas internal motivation is really that great feeling of satisfaction that comes from doing something that just feels good. So when I ask somebody, why do you do your sport? It should eventually boil down to because I like it, because I want to, you know. So I say, why do you do your sport? Well, because I want to win and I want to go to college. Okay, why is that important? Because then I'll show my parents and my coaches that I worked really hard. Okay, why is that important? And we just keep unraveling it until finally they're like, just because I want to, because I like it. And if they can get to that point, then I'm like, great, we have what we need. You just have to want to do it. You have to just love it. And that's the kids I've seen go the farthest in sport are the ones who just love to do it. They love the burn of a hard workout. They love the satisfaction of walking out feeling like they cannot lift their arms because they're so tired. They're like, yes, I did a good job today. Okay, so there's a framework on internal motivation that we're going to focus on. Because here's the thing, you can get interested in a sport because you want to win, because you like the cool uniform, because you want to have that pizza party at the end of the year, but that's not going to last. That's not going to keep you involved once you're climbing up the skill ladder to the point where these skills are hard, they're scary, and they take a lot of training. At that point, you really need it to be coming from within. So this framework, I'm going to call, the RAMP framework, comes from Andrei Marshusky, and it's actually in regard to video games. It's like how you keep people playing video games. So have you ever found a game that you started playing that you could not put down? Well, you're motivated by these 4 different factors. So you can pay attention for yourself on what keeps you motivated, and then also pay attention for what you can help give your kids so they can stay motivated. Okay, so the R in RAMP, the RAMP is it's our acronym, and it's how to build intrinsic or internal motivation. The R is relatedness. So your athlete, this is for our social butterflies. Now, each of us is going to fall more into one of these four, but we all are motivated by all four, really. But so for those kids who are purely there for the friendships, this is going to be their category, relatedness. They need to feel like they're a part of something. They need to feel like they have friends, that they matter, that they're welcome. And so if they're being bullied, if there's any kind of negative vibes coming from the coaches or from other teammates, that's going to eat away at this relatedness. If they're being excluded, if they have had a bunch of kids move up to the next level and they didn't move up, that's going to really eat away at their motivation. Whereas if they know, okay, my best friend is in the next level up, and if I work my butt off, I can be with her, that could be this huge motivating force. So what you want to do is align yourself with the type of athletes on your team that are going to cheer you on and motivate you and bring you up and pull the energy in toward effort. Because if you can connect the socializing with the effort factor, that's what's going to get these kids in particular going. Also helping them to feel related in ways like hosting a team sleepover, or if you've just joined a new team and they're really not feeling motivated, they don't really know the kids, invite everybody over, have a pool party, have something where you can start bringing those kids together and, building your kids some social capital, so to speak. Okay, what these kids need, these relatedness kids, is social status, social connections, and belonging. So anything you can do to help increase that or help them learn tools and skills to increase that will help their motivation. Okay, the next one in our RAMP acronym is autonomy. Okay, this is for the free spirits. This is my little 3-year-old. This is me personally. They need to feel like they have creative freedom, they have choice, and they have responsibility. So this is the type of athlete that if you're like, you have to do it this way and only this way, and you have no choice and go do it, they are going to do a slow fade. They are not going to have fun if they're being, told what to do all the time, and they will actually go quite the opposite direction and go, well, you can't tell me what to do. Well, I'm going to figure out how to do it a different way just to prove you wrong. So in those cases, that just to prove you wrong motivation is typically in the kids who need autonomy, whereas the relatedness ones are like, just to make everybody love me. So it's a little different, right? Okay, so what these ones need is to feel like they are in control, like it's their choice. They need to constantly be reminded, you don't have to do this if you don't want to do it. And they're going to go, I want to do it. Don't tell me I'm not going to quit. What, you don't believe in me? And then they're going to fire it up. Nagging does not work with this type of athlete. Does not work. It's the best way to get them to shut down is to tell them what to do. And with adolescents and teenagers, which is who I work with mostly, the worst thing you can do to them as a general population is to nag. Don't tell them what to do. Remind them they have choices. Ask them if they want to do it. If they don't want to do it, whatever. The more nonchalant you are, the more that you're allowing them to feel like they're in control, the more they're going to take it on and be like, I want to be amazing. And you're like, okay, if you want, whatever, no problem. They're like, yes, I want it. So my daughter is a 3-year-old gymnast. And you guys, I work with kids all the time whose parents are like, why can't I help them? I was a gymnast. I knew how to get through this. Why can't I help them? I have the same issue with my 3-year-old where her assignment in her little gymnastics class today was to do a safety fall. So of course, before you learn how to do anything scary or dangerous, you learn how to fall. So that was what she's supposed to do, is give herself a hug and fall backwards like a tree, which is terrifying, right? Especially like I have tried them before and it's like this big backwards fall. It's super scary. And if you're 3, it's scary. And she didn't want to do it. So she didn't do it for 2 weeks. And here I specialize in helping kids through fear is running through my head. And I'm like, she needs baby steps. She needs to start trying it. She needs to, I go into overdrive of, I hope she's not developing a mental block. You guys, like, I don't know what it is about parenting that makes us nutty, like I can help other kids in such this like wonderful, calm way. With my kid, I'm like, have to do it perfect. So I was like, hey, why don't you just try to sit on your bottom and then fall back? I'm like, building her confidence ladder for her. And she's like, no. And she runs away. And I'm like, no, you have to do it. And it was this big, unproductive encounter with this 3-year-old. And then finally on the way home, I was like, dude, I'm sorry. I should not have done that. What do you want to do? how do you want to deal with that station? And she's like, I just don't want to do it. And I was like, well, okay. What do you think you want to do instead? And she's like, I just want to do a forward roll. And then the next time we went back and I was like, okay, you know what? Just do the forward roll. She did it. And then we come around again and I didn't say anything to her. And she climbs up and she does a seat drop. So she falls on her butt, which is different. I'm like, okay, cool. And then on her butt, she falls back. And then the next time she gets up and she just does it. So the second that I shut my mouth and I let her be in control of it, and I actually apologized. I was like, sorry I nagged. That was not helpful. What do you want to do? How do you want to approach this? And then I just kept my mouth shut and let her. So my little autonomous girl, my free spirit, is going to need me to zip it. And I get to know nothing about what her process needs to be. And she's going to handle it. I have to trust her to do that. Okay. So if you have a kid like mine, back off, let them figure it out on their own. And then also for coaches who might be listening, give them things like when you finish your assignment, you get 10 minutes of free time to work on upgraded skills. And they're going to jam through their assignment so that they can have the freedom. I think it was the Microsoft employees were given an 80-20 rule where 80% of the time they had to be working on Microsoft projects, 20% of the time they could do whatever they wanted. And that was when some of the best innovations came about, was in that 20 minutes of free, or 20% of their work hours that was totally open. Free spirits, run free and do your thing. So if you give kids that opportunity, if they have to do 20 back handsprings a day to work through the mental block, then let them go do front flips at the end for 10 minutes. Let them do whatever they want so that they'll jam through the hard stuff, the thing they don't want to do, so they can play. That really, really works for this type of kid. Okay, so the next is the M in RAMP is mastery. Now, this is the achiever. So this is most of us. Most of, the type A, perfectionist, A+ students, we are mastery oriented. And this is good because we want to get better just because we want to be better. And so our needs, I'm saying our, because this is me too, learning, personal development, and leveling up. I talk a lot about flow, especially in the Perform Happy community. And that's that state where things just click in and work. All your training completely pays off and you're at your best. And that only happens when you have a challenge skill balance. So when your challenge is just the teensiest bit above your current skill level. It's not too high so you give up. It's not too low so that you get bored. It's just right out of reach. And that's what we want. That's what motivates the achievement type person. We want to get better. We want to have the feedback that we're getting better. So this isn't the gold medal. This is the coach going, whoa, that was better. And us going, it felt better. Cool, let me try it again. Oh, it got closer. Let's do it again. Oh my gosh, I'm getting better. I'm getting better. And that feeling of getting better really drives me personally in exercising. I want to feel stronger. Every time I work out, I want to be like, ooh, I just did one extra. That's what I want. And when I was pregnant, my motivation to exercise went way down because I was starting to feel weaker and weaker and weaker. So I need to feel like I'm getting better at something to be motivated to keep trying. Now I'm back. I'm like, yay, I'm getting stronger again. This feels great. It's not about winning Pilates class. It's about me getting in and feeling stronger and feeling like I am reaching my own standard of improvement. Okay, so helping your kid come up with some kind of a self-determined skill sheet, or coaches, you could do a skill scavenger hunt, or make it a fun game where they have to be challenged and they get to feel that they've been challenged and they rose to the occasion. That's one of the best things you can do to motivate kids. If they're constantly working the same stuff over and over, they feel like it's too easy, they feel like they're never going to get better, that's going to keep them stagnant. They have to be challenged and they have to be able to rise to it, which is why a lot of my work on fear is about creating these little milestones that are just out of reach, that is going to be a stretch, but once they do it, they throw a party. They feel so happy. Okay, the final one is the P in RAMP, which stands for purpose. And this is for those givers, the kids who are motivated by helping other people. So with adults, it's philanthropy or giving back, or, if you win this, you donate it to charity. For kids, it's do it because the 5-year-old's watching, because they believe in you. And sometimes for people who are not motivated as much by the other things, They are motivated by cheering on their teammates, and they're like, you know what, I'll do it if you do it. Or, okay, I can do this because I know my little sister believes in me and is looking up to me. And also that as far as the dreamers, this could be a big dream like college. You know, like I'm the first one in my family to go to college. So that would be this amazing thing to do to prove to my little sister that it could be done. You know, those sorts of things. Getting a bigger purpose and a bigger why involved that's bigger than you, because you want to do it. And also it's for you because it feels good to be an inspiration. So for those of you who just have a really big heart and sometimes have a hard time working hard or being successful for yourself, you might do it for somebody else. Do it for grandma, do it for mom, you know, but obviously not if it's going to stress you out, because believe me, too many kids doing it for mom melt down on competition day. So it ultimately needs to be for you. Okay, so one final little thought is, you know, for moms listening out there, what motivates you out of those 4 things? What gets you to go to your exercise class? I did Bikram yoga every single day for 2 months. And what got me there was kind of a combination of all 4 things. I had a buddy, a friend of mine who she picked me up one day, then I picked her up the next day, and we went together every single day. And then I started feeling stronger and getting better and holding things longer. And like the gymnast in me was like, yeah, I'm gonna be the best one in this class by a mile. And I would like kill myself in class because I wanted to be the best one. I wanted people to look at me and be like, dang, she is good at yoga. You know, like, hey, whatever works, right? And then also I started to have this, you know, this really nice peaceful presence that came as a result of being super focused and present every single day. So I had, and then I also was, you know, getting my friend there. So all of these different things were helping to motivate me. And then we stopped going, we went on vacation for a couple weeks, didn't go. And I was like, she didn't want to go, I didn't want to go. We were like, you know what, we did that, we're good. So make sure that it's something that's also achievable, that you're setting goals within reach that are easy to stick with. Instead of trying to be perfect, like I'm gonna go every single day, then you miss one, you're like, well, goals blown, oh well, forget it. Instead, you wanna go like, hey, I wanna improve, I wanna focus on this, or I wanna get this skill, and then map it out. So that is our ramp up to motivation and effort. You guys send me questions if you have them to Rebecca@performhappy.com. If you want a free consultation coaching session with me or any of the coaching team, head over to CompletePerformanceCoaching.com/schedule. And if you're not sure which coach would be best for you, I just put up a handy dandy quiz that you can take. It doesn't require email address or anything. You just go on and it'll tell you who is going to be the best coach for you. And then you can schedule a free 20-minute coaching session. How cool is that? Again, that's CompletePerformanceCoaching.com/schedule. Send me questions, Rebecca@performhappy.com, and I'll see you again next week. Thanks for joining me.